Welcome everyone, it's Cheryl Love here, your transformational change maker health coach. It's my passion to educate and motivate others to get your best self back and to be able to smile in the mirror every day on purpose. I'm here as your educator, but above all a support system to assist you in any way I can. I hope to be able to help you identify, execute, and achieve your health goals. Most of you know me, so I'll just share a very brief background. I was 50. Taking care of my mom with Alzheimer's, working full-time, raising 2 teenage boys. My husband was a police officer, and essentially I was stressed to the max. Not healthy or happy, and I avoided mirrors and pictures. This picture is a very rare one of me with my mom in 2003. In 2008, at 52, I was still stressed and unhappy with myself. Having gone through menopause, lost my mother, my father was diagnosed with lung cancer, my husband was diagnosed with a rare form of blood cancer, and my aunt had a complication to her diabetes and ended up hospitalized and died 6 months later. And my sister-in-law fell down her stairs and broke her back. That was a turning point year for me on many levels. I took a good hard look in the mirror and I decided I was not going to be next. My first step into a healthier lifestyle was a meal planning program. And now there is more to the story. Now I'm 63, I'm retired, and I'm coaching and educating others full-time, just to take the first step. Then hold on with me for a marvelous ride. So I won't talk more, and there is more for another time. A few housekeeping rules, though. The comments below are open, and I'll answer all of your questions if you'll type them in the comments. Throughout this, I'll probably ask you to do a few things in the comments, too. The art of meal prep has a ton of benefits, and anyone can meal prep. It doesn't have to be complicated, and it can be quite delicious. This is very important to me. The concept is to make more meals at once, so you're limiting the number of times you have to cook throughout the week. My very first meal prep program was what started me on my health journey. You've heard the saying, cook once, eat twice. Well, why not cook once, eat all week? You can store your meals in many different ways, including sandwich bags, freezer bags, snack bags, and even Tupperware. However, it's important to use containers that are BPA-free, freezer-safe, and microwave-safe if you use a microwave. I personally prefer glass when possible, and I use mason jars a bunch. But what's the big deal about meal prep anyway? Some meal prepping benefits include more free time, less standing in front of the open refrigerator trying to decide what to eat, less eating out and drive-thrus, a smaller grocery bill in the long run, daily making healthier choices, and meal planning can support your weight management. And you have a sharper mind because there's no dinner confusion. Now let's dig into how meal prepping can really benefit and add value to your life. What's the one thing you can't get back? Time. Life doesn't pause for spending an hour every night making dinner, right? So let's get real. Meal prepping does take time. It will probably take more time at once than you're used to, but the frequency is the key factor here. Instead of spending your time trying to decide what you'll make for dinner every night, running to the store for those last-minute ingredients, cooking, and then cleaning up afterwards, you could have everything already made for you. The majority of people who meal prep take a block of time during their weekend to prepare for their whole week. However, you can pick a day and dedicate it just to weekly shopping and cooking. Prepare as you please, put them in the refrigerator or the freezer, and you're all set for the week. You would gain more time throughout your week, and you'll preserve your energy. For the first time in known history, though, Americans are spending considerably more money at restaurants than they do on groceries. Even when utilizing coupons and daily specials, the markup is still an expense we can avoid with planning. Cooking at home, specifically in bulk, saves you a significant amount of money off your food expenses. The intention behind meal prepping is so prepared food is readily available for you at least a couple of days in a row. You will be buying larger quantities of things, and that's usually at a better value. Almost everything has a price scale that benefits the bulk buyer. Also, once you get into the habit of meal prepping, you will begin to recognize your staples that are essential to keep around. For example, if you ever see olive oil, brown rice, dried beans on sale, you'll stock up. If you buy the family packs of meat, generally they're a few cents less per pound. Do any of you currently buy your food in bulk? Pop a yes or no into the comments. What's the thing you most often buy in bulk? Let's talk grocery shopping. You know how they say not to go grocery shopping when you're hungry? Well, I think it should be hungry and unprepared. Without a plan for your week, you're more likely to impulse buy, and that costs you money. Don't forget that the food industry has very powerful marketing ploys and campaigns, so going to the grocery store without a list leaves you more susceptible to falling for the ploys they use. And going to the store with a list and no plan also can cause trouble for you and a higher grocery bill. Directing your grocery shopping makes it more productive, takes less time, and saves you money. How many of you shop with a list? Pop a thumbs up if you do. The current standard American diet is composed mainly of processed food and food-like substances. However, it may not be that people are addicted to the junk food culture, but we're addicted to the convenience of the culture. As I mentioned before, it does take more time and energy to cook your meals every day. Most people choose to find the easiest option when they're tired at the end of the day. Unfortunately, this is often just fast food that can be brought home quickly on the way from work. The art of meal prepping and planning fixes this problem. Having good food that you want to eat available at home can become a more convenient option. You won't have to stop somewhere on the way to get groceries for that last-minute meal you just decided on, or stop for takeout or wait in line at the drive-thrus. When you have a plan, your better and easier option is available at home. You'll naturally begin to eat healthier as you're not relying on eating out as the easy route. Plus, you have full control on what you're prepping, rather than just ordering something, especially when you're at your hungriest. Meal prepping has gained a lot of exposure in the health field, often using bodybuilders and fitness superstars as the models. However, it's not just limited to only those focused on their physiques. It just simply makes more sense, don't you agree? And unless you're weighing your food out at every meal, it's very likely that you're eating more than you need anyway. Thankfully, preparing your food ahead of time promotes better portion control too. Have you heard that according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the average American has experienced a 23% increase in daily calories between the years of 1970 and 2008. That's over 500 more calories a day. I can't imagine what it would be now. That's 3,500 more calories per week, which translates into a 12-pound per year average weight gain. Aside from that, it's not necessarily always accurate to listen for when your body says you're full, mainly because we always eat too fast normally. While this style of eating, stopping when you're full, may be appropriate for some, but most people are not metabolically stable, so you don't know when you're full until you're stuffed. The metabolic deficiency may be the case for a combination of reasons such as poor diets, malnourishment, dehydration, and even poor sleep. Meal prepping helps tame overeating as a whole and makes you more conscious of an accurate serving size. This in itself leads to a healthy weight maintenance. Research has also been proving that the strain of always making decisions has on our brain. We are overstimulated with too many choices, and our brains are exhausted trying to keep up. Have you ever said or thought, I cannot make another decision? Behavioral psychologists have also focused specifically on the concept of willpower, which is explained to work like a muscle. As you use it a lot, it begins to fatigue. I believe willpower is like taming an elephant. You may think you've got it covered and in control, but the elephant will always win. This explains why people choose to splurge on junk food late at night, or in other words, when their willpower muscle is totally exhausted. Then the elephant wins. This is where meal prepping comes in handy in meal planning. Meal prepping or sparing your willpower and decision-making muscle is improving the function of your brain. You prevent decision fatigue by only having a couple of options at a time, and you're less likely to cave into last-minute choices that you may not have made otherwise. Did you know, also, according to the American Chemistry Council survey, the average United States household throws away $640 of food waste per year? More than half of all the households throw out food every week. That's a lot of food and a lot of money. This is very concerning to me. Is it to you? Do you ever find yourself throwing out food? I know I do, and have in the past many times. Fortunately, planning your meals helps prevent excess waste. Having your meals packaged separately with accurate serving sizes ensures that you will not fill your plate more than you can eat or forget about the leftovers, because leftovers are only designed to be a second meal in meal planning and prepping. We can all agree that food waste is costly. Prepping and planning is a solution to try to reverse this very wasteful habit. The art of meal prepping often takes you out of your comfort zone too when it comes to eating. It's very easy to find a couple of very stable recipes and not stray far from them. Common ones often include burgers and pasta. These are just meals that you know are quick and everyone likes them, and they're easy to make. That gets boring though. Instead, meal prepping ensures you put more thought into the meals that you'll be making. It also encourages you to add more of a variety to your diet. You can keep it fresh and fun. I am sure you can see benefits of pre-planning and preparing your meals ahead of time. It's a good thing it's easy to get started. First, take an inventory of what food you have on hand, both in your freezer and in your cabinets. This is one of the first steps to any effective meal plan. Then look up some fun recipes that you want to try. Make your grocery list to get any ingredients you don't already have on hand. Once you get home, sort the food out into cook now and cook later piles. Wash and prep all your fruits and vegetables, place them in containers, and store in the refrigerator. We all have one of those Tupperware things around for putting veggies in. Cook enough meat for 3 to 4 days and place in individual containers for each meal. And label everything, not only with what it is, what meal it's for, but the date you made it. For some simple meal prep ideas, start with the ever most popular research eggs. They're a staple to many people's breakfast, but they're usually ordered most of the time when eating out, or only cooked on the weekends as let's have a big breakfast when everyone is home. What if I told you there are plenty of ways to meal prep with eggs? Here are just some great anytime meal ideas. First of all, the classic boiled egg. Who hasn't done that? You can eat just the egg. You can make it into egg salad. You can put it on top of a salad yourself. They're very easy to make and very simple to store, but please be sure to store them with the shells on because they'll last longer that way. I personally use my Instapot, which I love. It makes the most easiest to peel eggs you've ever thought of. If you are boiling your eggs on the stove the old-fashioned way, some people say that if you throw a little bit of baking soda in, they'll peel better, and some people have said vinegar. I found that vinegar made the eggs taste a little vinegar, especially if I boiled them a little too long and they cracked. But anything you can do to make it simpler for you, that's what you want to do. You can create egg muffins. Chop up whatever veggies you want in your muffins. Cook them ahead of time if you choose. If you don't mind if they're cooked ahead of time, just go ahead and distribute the vegetables evenly between oiled muffin tins. Whisk your eggs together in a separate bowl. Put a pinch of baking powder in. Pour into remaining space in the muffin tins. And put toppings on if you would like to, like cheese or bacon. Bake at 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes. Cool and store in the fridge for up to 5 days or freeze them. You can also do this with egg burritos. Then you want to gather all the ingredients that you want in them, layer them in a burrito, roll it up, and freeze it. You can cook your meat and saute your veggies all in one large skillet, scramble the eggs in a separate pan, remove them from the heat, and toss them with the meat and the vegetables and roll it up in your burrito. I always say to keep the very soft things, like maybe your tomatoes if you don't want to reheat them later, especially any type of greens or lettuce that you put in your burrito, and also if you like to add sour cream or fresh salsa, do that after you heat it up later. Another great meal prep for breakfast is smoothies. I actually do a smoothie most mornings, and I add in greens for an extra serving of vegetables and an extra serving of fruit also. All you have to do is pick up a couple of your favorite fruits and greens of choice, chop them up, and place them in a freezer bag individually until you're ready to blend them. Yes, you can prep your smoothies ahead of time. Greens freeze very nicely. Some of my favorite combinations include spinach, peaches, blueberries, and avocados, or kale, strawberry, banana, and pineapple, or avocado, blueberry, kiwi, and arugula. There are so many options. I also like to add in seeds like chia or flax, or a scoop of clean protein powder for a filling, delicious breakfast with very minimal work. I add water or celery juice, but you can also add nut milk or even regular milk if you're drinking dairy. If you haven't done a smoothie challenge with me, drop a heart in the comments. There's one getting ready to be done soon. One of the most nutrient-filled and easy to prepare and customizable meals out there is a salad, though. There are so many things you can put on a salad to change it up, and they can be made ahead of time very easily. I know, people say salads wilt, but if you do it in a mason jar, and that's exactly what it sounds like, it's a layered salad. You just have to learn how to layer those ingredients. You can go about this process in two ways. You can either divvy out your individual jar salads right away, or just prepare all the ingredients to be ready to assemble in an assembly line each time. Keep in mind when layering to begin with your dressing on the bottom, then the thicker hard veggies like cabbages or carrots or tomatoes, then the softer veggies on top like beans and your beans. You can always end with the greens on top, and you can always add in something like couscous or brown rice or quinoa. A lot of times I've made a hummus, red onion, carrot, chickpeas, quinoa, and mixed greens. How about a balsamic dressing with apples and feta cheese and mixed greens and pecans? I like avocado dressing, tomatoes, quinoa, chickpeas, and mixed greens too. What's your favorite salad combination? Pop it in the chat. And let's have a salad jar party. If you're local, I bring the recipes and the mason jars. Attendees each go home with 3 salads, and it's very reasonably priced. Plus, you learn a lot more about salads too. Keep it very simple. Your efforts toward meal prepping add up. Even if you're not ready to go all out next Sunday, here's some simple changes you can add into your routine now. Double up on your dinners, so you always have leftovers for lunch the next day. Begin to chop up your produce in big batches if you plan to cook soon, or use your veggie keepers. Start buying your staple ingredients, like maybe grains and flours, in bulk. Store in an airtight container. Make a very large batch of soup or stew. Eat half and freeze the rest. You'll have dinner one night and either lunch for a few more days after that, or dinner again. You can cook your grains all at once, such as your quinoa, your couscous, or your brown rice. There are many different ways to incorporate a little preparation into your food routine anytime, and I'm sure that you will reap the benefits of that. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about the art of meal prep and planning. I love sharing this topic with people who are eager to improve their health and to amplify their nutrition profiles. If you have any further questions, please post them in the comments below, or email me at cheryllove@imaginefit.biz. If you just want to learn more and start meal prepping, check this out for an educational step through meal planning. Just go to bit.ly, that's bit.ly/IF meal planning. And remember, I'm always here to support you. Don't forget to get that series started. Sign up here at bit.ly/IF meal planning. Have a great meal prep day.